Good evening, warriors and shield maidens. This is Veravante, the Berserker, and this is a observe and report on Castle of the Winds. We will begin with part 1. And we will be offering you something that has never been done before on YouTube, never been seen before, and possibly never been done by any gamer ever playing this game. So, I hope you are excited because we are going to rape this game. We are going to annihilate it on experts only difficulty level. I've checked the other playthroughs. I'm not even sure if anyone is playing on difficult. Maybe one guy, much less experts only. The top result for Castle of the Winds playthroughs is Bobo the Vulture. He plays on intermediate. He takes something absurd like 24 days to complete part 1, or 24 plus actually. We well, in previous playthroughs I've completed part 1 in you know, between 3 and 5 days, and part 2 the same. So I think I have high scores at 3 days 12 hours, 3 days 12 hours, 4 days for 1, 4 days 9 hours, and then for part 2 it's about the same, about 3 days. And bear in mind, part 1 has a forced 24-hour delay in it while you travel. So when you play this game at a much higher difficulty level, you unlock a lot of its strategic depth that otherwise is not present. That's what makes this game fun for me. If you ignore the speed aspect and you are scored by both speed and points, then you lose a lot of the difficulty, intricacy, and challenge of this game. And it's no longer very fun. It's just a hack and slash, just robotic. So that's my opinion, and that's why I play the game on experts only. Yeah, so why are we going fast? Well, the difficulty scales with the amount of time taken. So monsters respawn over time, and bosses get harder over time. So we want to complete it as quickly as possible for the intrinsic challenge, and also because the game is designed with that intent. Without further ado, let's begin. And we need to select a name. We will call our character Scarpedin. Scarpedin is a character from the Epic of Burnt Njal, which is an Icelandic Viking saga available for free on Project Gutenberg. Scarpedin is a height man, a fearsome warrior. He is probably the biggest single combatant badass in the epic. One of his signature scenes has him opening combat in a small melee by charging and taking a great leap across an ice floe, skidding in and decapitating with a single blow his opponent to begin the scrum. He dies in a siege fire and burns to death, standing up, uh, buries his axe in the wood next to him so that the blade will not shiver or separate, um, and bites through his lip but does not contort his face or scream. So he is a true berserker badass. Not much for diplomacy, one has to say, but that fits with the Viking ethos of the time, where personal valor and honor is über alles. So we will be playing Skarpedon in this tale of bloody revenge, and we will be an absolute whirlwind of destruction, tearing through the armies of the divine Surtur in under a week, if I can swing it, or maybe just a little bit more. At least that's the plan. And I'm fairly confident we can do it. Commentating does distract me from optimal gameplay to some degree, but I also have pretty well mastered the strategies in this game, so that will be working in our favor. And the beginning, we're going to test something a little bit different than what I've done before. So there's a small risk there that we may have to reload if we really get stuck, but I don't think we will. I think my hypothesis is correct. So let's take a look at the stats. Normally you will have this bar filled up halfway and everything else at the median, but I have maxed out strength and dexterity. That is what you need to do, because those are the two key stats in the game, particularly dexterity. Dexterity is number 1, strength is number 2, and then intelligence and constitution are, about even. So why is dexterity number 1? Because it affects your hit chance, it affects your dodge chance, it affects your armor class. So it is a pure combat stat. In order to achieve the speeds with which we will be completing this game, we must avoid resting to regain mana, because sleeping to regain mana takes an hour per mana point, whereas resting to regain HP takes a minute per HP point. So that's a massive difference. A greater than an order of magnitude. It's an order of 60. Or 60x, I guess. So we will try to minimize resting for HP as well, because we regenerate while running around doing whatever. So this character is very much like a troll. Trolls are famous for their regenerative capabilities. So Skarpedon is such a height warrior that, fueled by his berserker rage, he is able to shrug off injuries, needing only a few moments to bind up the worst of his wounds before his anger reknits his flesh, and he is, like Odin's Einherjar, able to to rise and fight again despite deadly wounds covering his body. Glorious deadly wounds. Clearly some divine blood must run in his line. Anyhow, this is the optimal build. And once again, dexterity is the most important stat. Strength is number 2, because it affects carrying capacity, which determines your armor value, and your encumbrance, and also your damage per swing that connects. Alright, I think that's enough explanation and exposition. So, let us begin. We are immediately confronted with a strategic decision, which spell we want. And the initial crux is survival on experts only, because the first portion is the most difficult part of the game. We are extremely constrained and vulnerable, and we have we're up against enemies that are hitting way too hard at the beginning. So I will choose Phase Door. Now the consensus choice is Magic Arrow, but this choice is incorrect if you are trying to max out speed and survivability, because you won't have enough mana to make a serious dent in, you know, your enemy's HP without sleeping to regain mana, which we will not do, period. Also, there is a good chance that we will run across teleport traps or otherwise be cut off from our line of retreat, at which point death is imminent. So Phase Door is our get out of jail free card, and without that, survival is a crapshoot. Now, just to give you an idea, I mean, I've watched, I haven't watched all the other playthroughs, but I've watched Bobo the Vulture a bit and just skimmed some of the others, and no one is playing at this level of difficulty and intricacy. Bobo is taking a search command with every step he takes to detect traps, which is massively inefficient because it takes a minute to search each time. So anyway, as we play it, pay attention to what I'm doing and the timer particularly, because everything I'm doing is informed by time. So let's go ahead and get Phase Door. And we will save this game. Run 2, Chapter 1, Level 0. Alright, Scarpadin. It's time to show what you're made of. We begin with a shitty dagger and 1500 copper. Here's our copper. And we need to equip ourselves. So, I'm going to buy some very basic equipment to start out. We need a belt to have a magical arsenal on hand. Boots are very cheap and provide a quick armor boost. Our armor is currently 16 thanks to our dexterity. When we add the boots, it goes up to 19, so that's 3 armor points for just negligible price. And we can also buy a cloak for also negligible, which brings us up to 20, another armor point. We're not going to be able to buy future armor points that cheaply. Our next priority is to, and this is the experimental portion of this playthrough, but I want to ignore the other armor slots and focus on the weapon, because I believe that dexterity plus DPS is the way to go, and we're very cash constrained. So the best weapon I can buy is a flail. I'm just trying something different because this initial portion is so difficult, and I have a dim view of the utility of armor in this game. In other words, I think it's a pretty lame and worthless stat when compared with the other things that you can do. So I've bumped it down on my priorities. Okay, so we can get the flail for 1470, which will leave us completely broke and unable to identify the suit of armor that we're going to pick up. So that is a risk because we will have to fight longer without a stitch of significant armor on. but I think I'm going to take that risk just to see what happens. We may have to reload if we completely get stuffed, but I want that flail, and so that's what we're doing. We're down to 192, so I need 300 copper before I can identify. Well, no, actually, I don't have to identify that the first piece of armor I'm going to get. I forgot that. So we should be okay. So if anything, I might be able to pick up another armor piece. So we can do bracers or gauntlets. So let's see, we're at 20 armor, and we could get bracers for 105. Let's see what that does. 23, and now we're well and truly broke. So I'm not totally sure about optimizing this beginning part just because it's so difficult. I may have wanted to hang on to that cash. We'll see. Let us advance. And this mine level 0 is always the same. So that's how I know that there's a piece of armor waiting for us. Well, we took out the kobold in a single blow, and we get a piece of armor. Now, I believe that this suit of armor is never cursed, because the floor 0 is not random. So let's see if I'm right. Okay. We are okay, and our armor is up at 29 now. So that suit of armor only gave us 6 armor points, which goes to show the value of the other cheap armor items that we're delivering similar armor value for far less weight and, you know, cost. So we're doing pretty well, I think. The plan seems to be working. Let's take out some rats. Hello, rat. Killed one, and there's another. And he's down too. There's nothing else to loot there, so we continue. I am liking the flail. I think I've made the correct min-maxing decision by getting the best weapon I can. Here's a goblin. Hits me for 2, and he goes down. Yeah, so the great thing about DPS is that you spend less time in combat. And we picked up some copper, so now we're at 87, I think. Okay, let's take a step downstairs. I will pull this skeleton to me, and I'll get a free hit on the stairwell. I am worried about getting one shot right now, so I'm playing very cautiously. Okay, so he hit me for 4, and it's time to retreat. So we can go visit the family farm while we're waiting, which has been burned by marauders, thus explaining our venture into this mine for revenge and for answers, and for the recovery of our ancestral property. The trip back has enabled our regeneration to heal wounds. Scarpin is refreshed by this reminder of the purpose of his expedition, and rips through the skeleton with a furiously contemptuous backhand swing. Alright, we're doing well so far. Now that doesn't mean that, you know, things couldn't head completely south here, because this portion is extremely difficult. We found a stairwell down. And a wand. I will go ahead and find out what this wand does immediately, because any edge I can get at the beginning is crucial. So we'll send this magic spell. It is a Wand of Magic Arrow. That is good. So now we have some offensive capability. I like that. Now we are kiting. Whoa. Not good. I could have died there very easily. I must have made some tactical error. I didn't think I was, but I guess the placement on the kobolds can be difficult to spot. Maybe I didn't realize he'd stepped up to me. Okay, so that was almost a death. Oh, and I just ran over the kobold without noticing. So he's down. And now we can kite this corpse, which just means we back up and prevent it from taking a swing. Or at least that's the plan. Doesn't always work. The initiative counts are digital. You know, this timer down here is how everything is controlled, so you won't always get it timed exactly right, but okay, here's a bat, and we crush it. Great. Suit of leather armor, which we don't have the gold to identify. Or the copper. So I'm exploring and also leaving closed doors closed. Okay, this is an ant, and it is a serious opponent. We may want to use Magic Arrow on him. We are 19 experience points away from level 2. Let's see how we fare. One blow. I'm really liking this min-maxing decision with the flail. Okay, corpse. I do not kite correctly. I risked a space bar. A space bar rest, and that was too much time. So we're going to heal up. Now we have a goblin fighter. He staggers from our furious assault. He's critically injured, and we get to take a step back because he didn't get his swing off. He's dead. That's what I like to see. Okay, we're kiting the corpse. And we level up. Very nice. Now, my next spell that I want, my priority is still on staying alive. So, if I'm phase dooring around because it's an emergency, then I may also need to pop off heals in order to survive that emergency. Sometimes you can phase door right next to a guy and he gets a free swing on you. So, we're going to grab Heal Minor Wounds next, because one of my primary goals here is, rather than manipulating luck, show you that these strategies and tactics work, and the way I prove that is by not dying, or dying very little. I mean, I'm not going to go slow enough to play perfectly, but my goal is just to demonstrate that these tactics and strategies are effective. He hits us for 5, that's not a big deal. It's not a small deal either. Maybe I'll risk one more hit. He's uninjured. There's little point in risking another hit. Hit again for practically nothing. The kobold is down. So my concern with retreating from that guy is that he's going to follow us into the lighted room. But it doesn't look like he has so far. I just don't want to get cut off, but I do have phase door. But I don't really want to cast phase door with so little of the map uncovered. Okay, there's that ant power. So we need to back off. And I think I will head back to town and see what kind of loot I've got in my pack. I'm nowhere near my carrying capacity, but I'm going back to take advantage of regeneration. And wow, we don't have enough money to identify anything right now. That sucks. Yeah. I guess I'll just drop this stuff off and we'll get back into combat. So I probably should have checked my cash. I thought I was over 100, but I was not. If I had realized that, I might have picked up that piece of junk, which I could have sold for 25, and it would have given me enough to ID. Okay, we got him good. And he's down. Now we can identify that 10 pieces of copper. Bites us for 7. I don't like that. Yeah. We're going to run again. We'll pick up this garbage. So those ants are tough, as expected. Okay, so we can sell this at the junk store. So instead of just resting, we are doing something productive with our time. Detect traps. That's good enough that I might want to just cast it. Actually. Yeah. Rather than sell it. Yeah, I think I might just use that. So we'll drop the rest of this stuff off. Because traps can kill you early on, so getting an opportunity like that. Trap isn't going to kill me outright unless I'm already badly damaged, but it can put me in a situation where death is inevitable. Not likely with Phase Door, but multiple things have to go wrong. Again, the ant. So it's beginning to look like Magic Arrow would be good versus the ants. And we have to use our first rest command, I believe. Okay, we got him. In the future, I think maybe I will spend a Magic Arrow versus an ant. That's our most challenging enemy in this area. Okay, so I'm going to get as close to the center of the map as I can, and then cast that detect traps. Not only will this help me avoid dangerous situations, but I can also gain XP by disarming traps, which gives me something to do while I'm resting. Okay, we're blocked off there. We won't be able to identify that ring yet. And I'll explore towards... Okay, never mind. A wild dog. Take him out in one. I love this weapon. Okay, we've linked that up. It takes a minute for each disarm attempt, so that was painful. I begrudge the time spent, but I had little choice. Okay. Now we need to search to open that door up there. So as you can see, it takes about 2 seconds per step, 2 to 3 seconds per step, whereas it takes a minute to do a lot of this searching stuff. So we're talking 30 steps is worth one search or disarm. So that's why I'm emphasizing mobility over. Oh, hello? Got him. Mobility over over anything else. Okay, we have both stairwells down, so let's proceed to the second mine level. We don't have enough cash to do anything, even if we did go back to town. So we're really doing quite well, thanks to our min-maxing decision. We were not stuffed at any point. The closest we got to being stuffed was the ant that we had to rest once from. Otherwise, we've been fairly productive. I think we had one semi-useless trip back to town and one rest. That's not bad. So I'm very happy with the flail. Okay, this ant is a serious foe. Fortunately, we get a solid hit on him. All we need is one more. But he's not cooperating, so I'm going to put a magic arrow into him because they have a high speed and dexterity, and that combat could have gone on for who knows how long. And I'm going to disarm traps while I regenerate. Okay, it's time to get back into it. We are moving towards level 2, slowly but surely. Okay, so here's stairwell 1. And I'd just like to open up stairwell 2 as well. Let's take him upstairs and we can get a free hit. Got him. Okay, so now we're going to explore towards stairwell 1 in order to achieve link up so that it's twice as hard to cut us off. That's done. Figured there might be traps, so I'm just going to check with my feet. Oh, here's a dog. And he's... uh-oh. Okay, I get away without using a phase door, which is always risky. Or a heal. I suppose I could have used a heal there without issue. So I think the secret passageway is here. But we won't worry about secret passageways until we've cleared the other traps. I guess we'll risk disarming that teleport trap. We do not find the passageway there. Oh well. So let's get back into combat. still don't have enough to justify a trip to town. I just killed the same wild dog. He's gone now. Viper is down. As is that goblin fighter. Monsters tend to move in straight lines, hence why we are clearing the straight line routes back to our stairwell. This door is open. Something's gone through it. Kite the corpse. I love this weapon. By the way, I know that this screen of artifacting can be annoying. I haven't figured out how to disable it. Ouch. Falling rocks. Oh crap. Walking corpse. Yeah, time to run very carefully. Okay, let's try to get into this secret area another way. Not there. Oh, we leveled up. Alright, so now we can go magic arrow, light, shield, or detect objects. Now, I'm not a fan of magic arrow, except for rare cases, because I want my DPS to be coming from my weapon. So once again, I'm going to avoid the obvious choice of magic arrow in favor of detect objects. Why detect objects? Because that will allow me to move much more quickly through these levels. I will know where all the loot is, and when the loot is gone, I will simply proceed to the next level, which will allow me to skip a lot of fights with respawns, etc., and avoid a lot of traps because I won't be exploring the whole level. So detect objects it is. Very contrarian choice, I know. And where the heck is that secret passageway? I don't know. We do have enough copper for a trip back to town, but we are doing alright. I think I will cast that detect objects spell here. Okay, let's get after it. Bites us for 4 and we get him. Pool of water. So as you can see, now none of my motion is wasted. I'm always going for an item of some kind. Got him. So far I've killed 2 vipers without getting poisoned, which is great. He hits me and he's dead. Pool of water. Okay, so I don't need to explore further there. That area is empty of items. Let's go get this cash. We have a lot of enemies. And we don't have to fight these guys. So I guess we'll just take the kobold and then go. Here's a walking corpse. I like killing those because they're very kiteable. Let's go get the loot to the northwest. Really running across a lot of traps there. So I think it's time for a trip back to town. We're a bit beat up. Let's do that. We'll ID the potions and scrolls because they're almost guaranteed to sell for good value, and they're cheap to identify. Okay, that's our whole kitty. As you saw, if you have multiple items of the same type, Identify will get all of them. So that's nice. For one low price. I'll hang on to an elixir of heal for emergencies. Actually, I think the scroll is better because it's lighter. So I'll keep that scroll. Just one. I will sell the rest. Don't need levitation. Detect monsters. That's sort of an emergency utility spell. I think I'll hang on to that for now. Don't need this pack. And let's ID some more of this stuff. Blank scroll, lost money on that. Normal boots, lost a lot of money on that. Let's see about this ring. Ouch. And now we don't have enough to identify either of those unless we sell something. Okay, we can ID the dagger or the suit of armor. Doesn't really matter which one we do, I guess. I could pick up gauntlets instead of identifying. And that would be a guaranteed improvement. But I don't really like leaving unidentified gear around. And last time I played, this dagger was enchanted. So I'm just gonna find out. Okay. Nope. I just remember getting an enchanted dagger early. Maybe it wasn't the same one. Anyway, we're back to 240. I can still buy those gauntlets, so I guess I'll take the slight armor boost. We're at 29. We can go up to 34, so that's 5 points. Not bad. Not bad for 100. Okay. Now if I sold this detect monsters, I'd get 600 and I could ID this armor. And I think I'm okay. So I might just sell this, whoops, might just sell that. It's a pretty high-end temporary spell for what I'm doing right now. Can be very useful when fighting certain things, but it's so temporary. I think I'd rather have the cash. Of course, it is just a regular suit of leather armor. So we sell it. And we still have cash. So we can get a shield or a helmet. We can't get the best helmet. And we can't get the best shield. So we are not going to buy anything. I guess. As we check the other store. Yeah, there's nothing we want. So let's get back to it. So we have a surplus of cash early on, but only because we can't afford the things we actually want. Still, it's better to be liquid than not. Okay, I unnecessarily skipped the first stairwell. This level is complete, so we need to go to the stairs down up there. Let's do that. Okay, nothing much going on. Now we don't have another stairwell because I didn't finish exploring this level because I didn't need to. So I'm going to search to see if anything shows up. It does. This is an ant. Let's risk a hit. He bites us. We hit him. He bites us again. He's critically injured. I think I can take him out. Okay, we got him. Let's try another search. We find a trap, but we have company. I'll let that come in. Take my free hit on him. Okay, we got him. One more search. More company. Ow. Double ow. This snake is like a champion. Okay, so we've been hurt. And we don't know where the traps are on this level. So I think I'm going to go up a level and continue trying to fiddle with this. The question is, where is that stupid secret door? Search once there. Search once there. Gotta be right here. No? Killing me. Okay, we failed to find it again. Whatever. Ow. Ow. Why is that snake so good? Okay, we disarmed a trap. I think we can now cast our detect object spell. There we go. And we have an ant. Gets us. Gets us again, really good. Uninjured, wow. Okay. Well, there's no loot on this level, and there might be loot on the level up. So once again, we are trying to unravel the mysteries. Where are the secret doors on this level? There we go. Found one. Now where the hell is the other one? Just go around the perimeter until we're healed. Yeah. Never gonna find it. Let's get that ant. Critically injured, I'm just gonna take him out. That last hit is a good place to use the magic arrow, I think. Pool of water. Found the other stairs up. Not that that really matters much. Okay. Whoa! Teleport trap. Things just got exciting. A rat. We are hit. And by dart. We get him. Let's see if we can rest here. Nope. So now I can heal or phase door again. Those are my choices. Or I can try to run. Let's see what running does. Nothing good. Wow, lots of traps. Well, a viper isn't that bad. He poisons us for the first time in our career. Poisons us twice. I don't really like that. It's going to take a long time to rest that off. Let's try resting. And we succeed, so we are okay. Except there's a bazillion teleport traps. So this is what I mean about, you know, danger and phase door and all that. Luckily, we are prepared for this eventuality because the game is really trying to kill us here. So, all we want to do is find our way back to our stairwell. Which means we move north. Got it? Alright, so we are secure. But not for long. So this is exciting. Far too exciting. There's a flail. And we're walled in. Try a search. Nothing. There we go. We need to disarm this to link up. All right. And I like to do a pass to make sure that my stairwells are actually secure instead of just apparently secure. arrow bit by a rat. Got him. Oh yeah, I need to be just going for items, not exploring every path. Good. Skeleton is down. Ouch. Time to retreat. So what are we gonna do? Got 1,000 copper, a few things to identify. We could go back to town. There's not a lot to disarm in our immediate vicinity, so why don't we retreat instead? We have company. Circle around, avoid him. And let's head back. Let's just go back to town. I think we might be able to squeeze in an upgrade. And at this point, every upgrade matters. Also, this shield is quite heavy. And we need a shield. Let's identify normal, medium, wooden shield. Great. So we go from 34 to 40. Good. This belt has a potion we can identify. Detect objects, handy, but we have that spell. And we don't have enough to identify another item. So let's sell off the extraneous stuff and continue identifying. Normal flail and cursed spear. Unfortunately, this game does not have dual wield, or I would be all over that. Okay. So we could upgrade to an iron shield, but I'm not sure that's really worth it. I doubt it is. We do need a helmet. And we cannot afford one. Unless we sell something. So I might just sell my heal wounds. Because we're not really using our mana. We're keeping it in reserve, which is what I like to see at these early levels. Because a world of hurt is just one bad trapdoor away. Let's grab the helmet. And our armor will go from 40 to 46. Getting to be downright respectable. And we got to regenerate that whole trip. That's good. Let's see if we can unlock a closer stairwell. There we go. I'll head towards those items. teleport trap there. Grab this stuff first. Got it? Okay, where to next? Oh, we need to go north. That bat is not dead. Still not dead. Now it's dead. Wonderful. We don't need to be here. And since that route is clear except for the teleport trap, I think I'll go down there again. This might be a poor decision if I fall into it. Just gonna leave that skeleton. I don't care. Okay. One more pile of cash and we're done. Or I could get my butt kicked by a wild dog. That's annoying. I'm tempted to just magic arrow him. I'm taking him on because I can mostly kite him. Okay, we're done with this level. We could disarm those traps. And we've got a teleport exit right next door, so I'm not too worried about getting caught. Alright, that got us back up to near full health. It's time to step downstairs. So you can see that my speed of gearing is really improving thanks to detect items. And, you know, that means I have less exposure to enemies while I'm poorly geared, which is what I, like to see. Alright, trapdoor spider. Does it follow? No. Okay, that's not a very friendly starting point. So let's try the other one. Skeleton is back and he's next to one of my stairwells, so I'm going to try to take him out. I do. I'm a bit damaged, but we'll risk a step downstairs. Okay. Let's do a search. Looks like we can get off our detect object spell. We are not too close to leveling. And there's nothing to our east except for this one piece of cash. He hits us, he's dead. Might need to deal with that corpse. Okay, we got him, but we're still hurting for health. It's a bit risky to proceed, but we do have phased door and heal, so I'm going to keep pushing. Ow. And we're cut off. We have some stuff to take back if we want. Not really enough to justify it. So I'm going to keep pushing. Okay, so we're starting to get into trouble. We are really cut off, and we're low on health. I don't want to wake that spider, so I'm going to get into the shadows as quickly as possible and try to link up with my stairwell. poisoned. Really don't like that. And bitten. Okay. We're going to heal. Down to 12 mana. Kill the goblin. Poisoned again. Nothing useful there. Because we've been poisoned so many times, our HP is actually decreasing per tick. Still no connection to the stairwell. So we are at risk, very much so. Down to 12. I think we will heal again and save that item for now. Hit again. Ouch. Heal again. Got him. We're still not in good shape. Our mana is dropping. Don't like that. Alright, finally we're not poisoned anymore. But we have little option but to continue forward. Another Viper. I think I will expend a magic arrow. Let's hope we can take him out quickly. Damn it, we got poisoned again. Alright, well let's heal. Because we're not going to be passively healing anytime soon. Got a lot of company, a lot of kobolds, and we're not really prepared to take those guys on. Looks like we don't have a choice. Ouch. Ouch. Still cut off. Nothing we can do about it. If I get desperate, I can go to that corner and try to phase door back to the stairwell. But I'm willing to spend this mana at low levels because we're going to level and gain it all back. These kobolds are not too much of a challenge. There's another healing potion. I'll take that. Down to 14 HP. And our stairwell is within sight. Guarded by too much. Huh. Well, it's been exciting. couple more items on this level and then we're done. I might just explore north since I'm blocked to the south. Finally, poison wears off again. We've got a viper and a trapdoor spider. I don't really want to tangle with either right now. I'm going to use a magic arrow to pull this lizard towards me so I can start kiting him. Appears to be working. Got him. That just leaves the big spider. Uh-oh, he's awake and he's following me. I've got almost everything except for this potion. Let's see if I can grab that. As long as I'm moving around, I'm regenerating at the same time, so that's good for me. Traps just to make it a bit more interesting. Not going to challenge those guys because at this point the level is complete. All I need is to get to a stairwell. 2 trapdoor spiders. This is why I love detect objects, because I know that I can just go. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's GTFO. Wrong stairwell. I could muck about with those traps, but no need. We read the scrap of parchment and become extremely concerned that maybe something bad has happened to our hamlet, because it's orders to to finish the job started at our farm. And sure enough, boom, it's all gone. They're all dead. The children, oh, the children. Now you've done it. Now you've pissed him off. Before it was uncertain, but now Scarpedon is determined to answer this insult. So we travel a full day. We cleared that mine in 6 hours. 6 hours, bitches. 6 hours. A quarter of a day. Wow. Okay. So now we are at Bjarnhaven. And we've looted everything from that mine. Might have missed 1 or 2 pieces early on. And we are ready to start part 2. About to level up as well, which is nice. And I hope I have delivered on my promise to absolutely rape this game, experts only. Yeah. And here we are, completing the most difficult part of the game, the first portion, with Elan, pizzazz, style, and zest. thank you for watching, and tune in next time. See ya.